to on this. What's today? Thursday. You already know we right here. We're decided to hop on top of it with individuals. See what's the talk of the town. It's going down. The word on the curve. You heard me. Chilling right here on another hot ass day here in Southern California. But we trying to see what's good with the folks, the lokes. Let me just set this up. Now, for those who are curious, I did drop a new freestyle on my other channel if you guys want to scope that out. And on this channel yesterday, I did drop a few videos, right? Including one that revolves around a well-known Raza TikToker, right? Who's clashing apparently with TMZ. And the fiasco behind that. If you guys want to scope that out. What's cracking like it, Derek? What you getting yourself into, my boy? Loken, token, straight provoking? What's good, Dashpool? What's good, my boy? What you getting yourself into? Education? That's right, getting ready to make the... I feel you. The homie Lil Rich is definitely up in the building as well. What's good, my boy? How's everything? How's your guys' Thursday going? We chilling. Have you heard about what's been going on with Atlanta rap scene the last 2 days? It's crazy, man. No, I haven't. Why? What's been going on? Rappers singing and shooting at each other? The usual as it is nowadays? Should be getting crazy out there. Just doing my homework while watching. That's right, my boy. Always educating yourself. That's good, homie. That's good. Rappers calling other rappers rats. I don't understand that. I don't get that. I don't get that at all. I don't understand why people do that. Like people that have snitched calling other people snitches or rats or making fun of them because they have told when they themselves have told. That shit makes absolutely no sense to me. Like, what the fuck? You see that shit here on YouTube as well. I'm just like, bro, if you're a rat or if you have told, you don't get to call other people rats and snitches. You just don't get to do that. Like, you goofball. That's like worse. That's like the worst kind of person. It's like a pedophile calling another person a pedophile. Like, what? Hip hop. Serio. What was Shadow's first tape he ever bought or got rap hip hop? The first tape that I had, I think it was an MC8 tape, if I'm not mistaken. I had a lot of tapes before. You put the tape in, flip it over. Damn, I feel old now. Is that the little tape players? Before CDs were even a thing. I remember when CDs first came out, it was like mind-blowing. Yes, I'm from the era of, tapes and VHS and all that. Youngton got exposed for snitching. It's like breaking news. Serio? I mean, is it really a surprise now? I got an easy single. That's not fine. Órale. What's good, Eric? You getting yourself into a boy? You already know we shitting like a villain, carnal. Video of Young Thug. And he's saying his homie shot at a tour bus and sold drugs. What? To the cops? Telling this to the cops? That's crazy. Oh, but that's all I said though. I didn't say nothing else though. Well, you might as well. Might as well spill it all now. Like, oh, that's it. Because that in itself is nothing, huh? That's a good spill you did. Yeah, he may have been done things, but this all for money. Yeah, that's all I was saying. People got it, I guess, misconstrued of what I was trying to say in the video, right? Basically, what I'm trying to say is that I don't come and make up shit on people and attach shit on people, even if I disagree with these individuals or if I don't see eye to eye, or let's just say if I dislike them in general, right? I'm not gonna come and try to, you know, fucking exaggerate or come and lie on their name, right? Like saying like, oh, he lied about everything. Yeah, he's not real about shit. Like, oh, his whole thing is a complete lie. When that's not true. He actually was from his neighborhood. He actually was incarcerated there and did his and ran with people. You know what I mean? I was saying it. He doesn't lie and exaggerate and fight like the other ones do, where they lie about what prisons they were at, what yards they were at, who they were with, and events that happen. At least this individual doesn't do that. That's merely what I was saying. You know what I mean? I wasn't trying to stick up for him. I was just calling. Like, I just come and I lay down the facts. I come and speak on the facts that are known. That's it. I don't speak on, what ifs or assumptions. I only call the facts. Some people don't like that because I get it. They dislike him, right? But just because you dislike somebody doesn't mean you gotta come and lie on them. I just don't get down like that. You know, because clearly, he doesn't want to dive into certain parts of his life for certain reasons, right? So that in itself is a red flag, and it's and already a sign that somebody's being fake and shit like that. But meaning in the sense that he didn't lie about like his whole story or whatever. As a matter of fact, he never even said he paroled in good standings. What is I never heard it when I used to scope out his stuff. As time went by, yeah, sure, he completely went off the chain. His ego just inflated, and he became very, very ignorant and arrogant and egotistical and childlike as well. I think some of the other individuals' bad habits rubbed off on him. He knows damn well the situation, but that's what I'm saying. Like they talk about snitch, like they hate people that have told, like, oh, I ain't no fucking rat. Don't confuse me for no, like, this animosity towards people that tell, but yet they're associating themselves with somebody who told them. Like, that just doesn't make any sense. Like when they were saying that Whack 100's a cop, that he's a rat. Like, bro, you don't get to call somebody else a rat and call them out for that if you're hanging out with a rat. And the other one doesn't get to say it because he is the rat. Right? Like, is that kind of behavior is just goofy. The mixtapes came out. Young Thug. What up, shit? What's cracking like in South? I'm not saying he did it, but he was there. Like, I don't understand how hard is it to say, I want a lawyer. That's it. That's all you have to say. That's it. That's it. You're not gonna be able to outsmart them. You're not gonna be able to, you're only gonna, every time any individual ever tries to talk themselves out of anything, it never works. It never works, and it's never gonna work. Best thing you can do is just like those who have beat their cases is to get a lawyer. I don't know why these motherfuckers think that they can outsmart, law enforcement. It's like, do you think that highly of yourself that you're that skillful in lying? He's trying to spin it by saying he was trying to save his homie. Like how? That's what. Like no, see, what happened is that I told them, what happened because I was looking out for you though. Like this is all in the beneficial of you, my boy. As a real homie, I just, I had to look out for you. See, that way, now that you get locked up, the ops won't be able to smoke you. You feel me? So it's like you'll be protected. So it's like, I got your back. Like, oh, is that what you was trying to do? So, woo, gang. Yeah, just catching 4 fades in a day. And I mean, no, but he's not the only one, though. I mean, like, people like Wes Watson and others, too, that are just, like, these goofy-ass stories. I'm just like, stop. Just, like hearing these people talk, I just be right here like, damn, where the fuck were these people locked up at? Where were they busted at that they were making so much shit happen and they're somehow still breathing? Sitting down the yard, they would have had your fucking head on a platter already. Like, who the fuck do you think you are shutting down the yard so many times? I get it. They have to, they have to keep the audience entertained somehow, right? So I guess if lying is what they gotta do, right? But it's like like the amount of no shame they go, huh? Is a devil. Man. This guy's. I can see why you think like that. He was an evil individual that just doesn't go away. Oh, I feel you, bro. I feel you. Shadow, how would you deal with a close family member that came home after telling? A close family member that came home when and he told? Well, what do you mean? Is he from the hood though? Because okay, for example, if you're not gang related, then you have no obligation to follow any type of street rules, right? And the neighborhood and individuals shouldn't even try to, throw those on you like, oh, this person has to stick by our rules. You feel me? It's like, what it is that it's your guys' fault. You guys fucked up by taking somebody who's not from the hood with you guys, by doing something in front of somebody who's not, from the hood. You guys fucked up. Don't try to throw that shit on him now because you guys fucked up. You get what I'm saying? That's something I learned from my older homie. Like, don't be mad because you fools fucked up. That fool's not from the hood. He didn't want to be from the hood. So why should he follow the hood rules? You get me? That's why you don't take people that are not from the hood or do shit in front of people that are not from the hood. Because then if they tell, you don't get to try to hold them to the same obligations that you live by. Now, if it's a family member who's from the hood and told, then I would cut all ties and connections with that person. Because not even so much of the sense they trade the hood or stuff like that, but actual real sense of what you're more right. Like, instead of owning up to your decisions, taking accountability for your actions, right, you decided to blame other individuals and now they're going to do the time because you refuse, just because you wanted to weasel your way out, and that's just something that's not respectable. If they tell on them, then they're going to tell on you. So if you guys would have been together, then he would have told on you to save his own ass. And yes, there's family members that are like that will get down like that. So it's like, why would I want to be associating myself with someone like that? Or like I said, I have 12 family members that are from my neighborhood, and they've been in and out of incarceration since forever, right? Never once has any of them ever told, ever. So growing up, I knew all of this and stuff like that, right? So I held myself to a higher standard than that. Like, I'd be damned if I was gonna be the one, to shame the family name and everything like that, right? So it was gonna be like, you're gonna go harder in the paint because of that. Oopsie. I don't know why the homie calling me when I'm on the live for. I'm like, bro, wait till I'm done. I always go to sleep in the back seat of the cop car. Or when they try to. Like, all you really do is gotta say, like, you know, I want a lawyer. That's it. Damn. Done. Now everything has to go through your lawyer, and you know what I'm saying? Fuckers really think that they're like, bro, not even the greatest of con men, you know what I mean, have been able to fucking, you know, pull a fast one. You know, they all get busted. It always fails. You cannot control your fucking, you know, your body and your mind, bro. You just can't. It's gonna give you away when you're lying. It is. You're gonna be doing shit you're not even realizing it. That's a sign that you're being deceptive. So just get a lawyer. That way they don't get to fucking analyze you and look for body, you know, language and shit like that. Then I could control the room. His. Yeah. What's crazy, Mr. Pasa? What's good? Hello. What I missed? We just chilling. Some fans are saying that the streets are done. Fans are saying that the streets are done. The streets are done because of Young Thug. This was when I said he got hit, pulled it out of his, and went back to work throwing it. What? I don't know if you're being serious or not, but I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, I heard some good ones by people on here, right? And I'm just like, just stop. Just stop. I don't know why people do that. I don't get it. I really don't. Like, fuck, bro. Like, are you that insecure about yourself? Like, do you really need... Like, how bad is your life? Like, how bad do you really see your situation? Like, how much of a coward do you really see yourself as? That you gotta be fucking embellishing shit like this? Yeah, but see, that's the thing. Like, even to the praise, you know that it's based off of a lie. So why do I don't fucking though? That numbers like how some snitches made no difference if the snitch was a gang member or civilian to me. I can see why you can see it like that. Being from the streets, we all have seen it like that. Even me, when I was younger, that's how it was seen, right? But like I said, that's why the older homies were just there to guide us and you know, put us up on game, right? Like, correct our errors. And it's true, and it made absolutely, you know, all the sense in the world. Like, okay, yeah, he's right. Because, you know, being a law-abiding citizen, they have the right to call law enforcement. That's within their right, you know what I mean? They're not a part of the gang world. They don't live by those rules, you know. They don't want to be a part of that life, you know. So why should they, you know, live and hold those types of rules? You feel me? But yeah, being a young, active individual, I could see why your anger will get the best of you and you will see it like as all the same, right? But that's only because you don't want to admit that you fucked up. You know what I mean? So you're trying to blame you're trying to throw the blame on something else. Like, it's their fault that I'm busted. When in all true reality, no, it's your fault because you fucking, you know, somebody who's, you know, you took. That was your mistake. You don't want to own it. You're blaming it on something else. Facts. That's why it's worse when it's somebody who's a homie that snitches, right? Because, like, you actually signed up for this. You already knew what it was, and you know and yet, you know, and you anticipated winning me, and yet here you are saying that they forced me. When we were in the backseat, you had a big old smile. You were like, hey, pass it to me, fool. Let me hold it. and you know, you was all gravy, laughing, you know, couldn't even wait. Motherfucker was the first one in the car, but now here you are saying that we forced you and you never wanted to, and it was them, and you know, and then you're gonna be like, can't believe it, the homies did me like that. What? Get the fuck out of here. You want that sympathy. And then people be like, oh yeah, man, your homies are scandalous, man. Yeah, it's a good thing, you know, fuck them. It's a good thing you did that to them, you know, like you did the right thing. by by not taking accountability for his actions? Holy fuck. Where do you live at? That is crazy. Yeah, well, keep boosting up that, you know, those bad traits. That is not good advice to give that person. Gushing everywhere. But he was. Damn, that is crazy. It's funny how they're able to remember every you know, in every detail and shit like that. No real fights, you can't really remember, you know, like that, but or when anything happens, you really can't remember details all that well. But we'll let them tell it their way. And it's like, damn, where the fuck do they get so much stamina? Like the story lasts forever, huh? Like, ah, madre, you had that much stamina? Fuck, how do you do it? Must have been the meth. Not even like that, but Elizabeth, you know, con man. Con people, but yeah, I don't think his objective was to con people. I think what it was is that his ego inflated. Like he all that shit went straight to his head. I think is what happened with him. I don't think that was his goal, right? But as time went by and his channel grew and grew, it all literally started going to his head, right? And um, just like, you know, a lot of other people, right? They don't humble themselves and they act reckless. What if Wes Watson wanted to run for president? She might be better than Trump. I'm not even gonna lie. He might be better than Trump though. So it would still be a pretty, you know, fucked up president, but he would probably be better than Trump though. You know, because Trump outdoes Watson's ego. Little Toro will beat the brakes off of Little Toro. Oh, the rapper dude. Why him? Why? I don't know where. Just like what? Or why they have beef or what? Oh, well, no shit, right? Because Gunner's no good, and I don't know if that guy Toro's good or not, or I don't know. But, and then there's Rainbow Real. Rappers of Atlanta. Nah, there's some good, talented, you know, crazy fools out of Atlanta. Trust me, you'll find loped out fools from the streets anywhere in this fucking planet. You'll be surprised. And why do people get so many tattoos to impress or look the part? They do it because they wanna be gangster. But they don't have what it takes to actually, you know, be gangster, right? So this is just an easier way for them to try to, you know, play the part, you know, fool people, because they like that praise that they get. They like to feel, you know, they always wanted to be gangster and be seen as gangster. So this is now them being able to do that, accomplish that without actually, you know, taking the risks or, you know, actually having to do anything, right? They just fool people with that. Because in all true reality, the only thing that they want is just the recognition, the respect, the praise, right? And some for females, as stupid as that sounds. Like I said, it may fool the audience, but it don't fool the people from the streets, though. I remember one Toker gave me. Yeah, like I said in the beginning, you know, he was a humble individual who carried himself the right way. He did. But once, you know, he started, you know, doing the the lives together and everything. I don't know what he completely did a 180. You know, he flipped, right? Like he became arrogant and reckless. You know, it's crazy. Well, not so much that he became right, but his I guess his colors came out because in actual reality, you know, it's not like you can create these new emotions, right? Like um, we're always there. It's just now they're amplified. I remember trolling Tucker on his life. Yeah, Tucker was cool, man. It was cool as fuck. Hey, I got something for you, homie. I mean, to pay attention to rap, Young Thug is considered one of the realest rappers in Atlanta. Most people don't play. Oh, really? Shit. I didn't realize he had a street rap like that. Cooperate and enter the Federal Witness Protection Program. Well, I mean, I feel like they're just, cowards that are just running away from their, from taking accountability for their actions, right? Um, but I mean, it is what it is, if they want to look to better themselves or their life, whatever, they're going to do. Where it will become goofy is like, let's say if they're in federal protection program, but then they come out and they still want to be, talking gangster and threatening people and acting goofy like that. Then it's like, then you're just a fucking idiot. But if you ride off into the sunset, then that's what you do. I wanted to ask if you were able to speak on when a hood gets into another hood becomes a clique. Would it be considered hood hopping? Oh, like the hood becomes a clique off of that? No, that's not hood hopping. Hood hopping is if you get out of that hood to join another hood, right? But actually, clicking up together, it's that's not the same thing. You're not disowning one hood, right? You're making both hoods become one. Did Draco even have any? And nobody in the streets looks up to these rappers like that. Like nobody from the streets is actually giving respect and props to any rapper, and that's just not because like you know they don't respect. It's just that in the streets, people don't give a fuck what's your background, who you are, how many albums drop. They don't care. They don't care. They're not starstruck. They're not wowed. That's why a lot of these rappers get jacked for their chains. These motherfuckers are not impressed. Nobody's impressed by your rapping skills or your acting skills. In the streets, people don't give a fuck who you are or how good your music is. They'll still jack you and bump your music while they take off with your chain. Like, damn, hey, you make good music, but, cough up everything you got. You know what I mean? Like, that's not, people are not gonna be like, hey, oh, look who it is. Oh, damn, nobody gives a fuck, bro. They don't. In the streets, no one cares. Same like when all these people, I was on a level 4. Nobody in the streets gives a fuck where we're at. That's not gonna stop people from doing what they're gonna do. Nobody's starstruck. Your credibility means absolutely nothing to these individuals out here. At all. And that's just a real talk about shit. Maybe everybody else, like regular people, might see these people and be like, oh, damn, like, or, might be starstruck or might see them, highly or think of them highly because they say they're street rapping individuals. But around real street individuals, no one cares about your titles. That's just the truth. Like, I rap and who cares? Not what we asked you. And see, these individuals trick themselves into believing that they have some kind of juice that they'll be able to just to walk and people would be like, oh, do you know who I am? And they'll be like, and they'll give you a pass. And it's like, damn, you've been dealing with a lot of fans, huh? But don't get ahead of yourself, bro. Right here in the bottom, we don't care. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my lunch break is over. We got to get back to it. It was good chopping it up with you guys, and we out.